Gideon's Tactical family, I gotta tell you that this Reiff Knives F4 has been an excellent companion for myself as I've hit the road going full-time RVing and looking for a great belt knife as a companion blade to go along with hatchets or larger tools. And it's US manufacturing of CPM 3V steel, American source G10, as well as just the story behind it, getting to know the founder, Stu, hear his life story, taking a risk. It's really an American tale of seeing someone being willing to quit security and comfort of their regular 9-to-5 job to have a dream and then take a risk on that dream by starting Reiff Knives. So guys, I'm looking forward today to breaking down this tool, showing you what this knife has going on and what are its capabilities, and is this something worth investing in that will, in my opinion, and I know Stu's hope, last you for years and years, if not a lifetime. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the F4. You know, there's just certain blade shapes that when you look at it, you go, yep, that's gonna do well. That's going to be a great woods knife, and that is what this is intended for, and man, does it excel at that. Handle to tip, 4 inches, cutting edge 3.8, CPM 3V steel, excellently sourced, done so well, attention to detail, excellence, and has really worked hard to make that happen. I'm seeing that. The grind on either side is perfect, 0 complaints there. Doesn't, you know, wobble, one side is longer than the other or anything like that. Great relief edge. That stone wash, it's not really a stone wash, I don't know what that is. A smoked coating, I guess, or staining on it. Convex edge onto that high saber grind. Now from edge to spine, it's 1.11 inches high. So it's definitely more of like a thinner, you know, sometimes you get these big fat broad blades. This is more of a thinner, from edge to spine blade. What comes to mind is like an SRK or like a Falkneven style, you know, being a little bit shorter from edge to spine than say like a big broad fat blade like an SE6 or something. So that's something just for your analysis of the tool there. Great relief edge. The thickness on the spine is 5/32 or 0.152, I think. So great. This type of tool does not need to be, you know, 0.18, you know, 3/16 of an inch thick. It would just be overkill unless you're literally just, you know, making like a soldier knife. This is, you know, for woodscraft, and that shape just does so well with it. It's able to carve, you're able to notch because of the CPM 3V. It's going to be much better than say like a 1095 or even like A2, you know, stuff like that. It's going to do so well. Very, very tough. You can trust it. You know, it's going to be reliable. You're not nervous about like, okay, is this going to dull out on me in like, you know, 10 minutes, or am I going to like snap and break it when I'm pounding on it to make a notch or a squared cut, you know, or something like that. And just all the bushcraft, woodscraft type of activities you're going to want to do with this knife, general utility around a campsite, around your hunting, you know, camp, that type of stuff. It's going to do super well and just really perform. And you'll notice the performance. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is sick. This is working, and this is really well designed in the blade shape. It does have a 90-degree spine, so you can, you know, do your woodscraft and throw sparks and not have to have that secondary striker with you. And I always appreciate that when a tool does have that 90-degree spine on it. Now, nothing's perfect. The one area where I didn't see it excel in was really food prep. And now it'll do really good with like meat and say like a lime or like citrus. But if you start looking at like harder, like apples, or you're wanting to slice up like a cucumber and a tomato, and you know, you're doing like a meal, a thinner, higher from edge to spine, full flat grind, will just do better. I mean, that's what your kitchenware looks like. And so that's where I didn't see it quite excel. Every other aspect though of your either, you know, meat and game processing would definitely be an excellent option. Or, you know, you're chopping up sausage and, you know, chicken and, you know, pork, you know, around the campsite. It's going to do great with that type of stuff. And again, all the woodscraft and general utility. Now on to the handle, and this was really cool. Long before this ever hit production, now I have, you know, like the real thing in my hands. Stu actually reached out to me and he sent me a 3D model, and he and I had about a 30-minute conversation. I got to hear his story, just get to know him. It was so cool. and just really good connection. But we actually talked about the handle. I was able to grip it. I gave him some feedback, and it was just cool, that he was reaching out. And I know I wasn't the only person that he did that with, but he was reaching out to several people who he knew were handling, hundreds of knives in the course of like a year sometimes, and wanted to just get feedback. And I was like, dude, this is an excellent handle. Every single little line, angle, transition is all machined, all done super well. Nice full handle with a little bit of a big flare and then kind of a tapering out at the end there, not at all narrow. And that is something you're going to notice compared to a lot of other tools like this, is that this is a beefy handle for the style of knife. A lot of times you get these kind of tiny pencil shape. I'll just give you an example here. Here's a Becker BK18, right? Cool knife, absolutely love it for what it is. It's a super cool blade, and for under 100 bucks, you're getting a, $10.95 American-made tool, right? But you got to do a lot of custom and different things. You got to get micarta handle scales afterwards and different things like that. Powder coating on there, it's fine, but the neck is so narrow. It gets the job done, but it's narrow. I mean, and particularly for those of you with kind of beefier, bigger hands. And there's the cut-ins and the transition. This guy is significantly longer and doesn't have any of that thinness, so it's overall much beefier at 5 inches overall length, and at its maximum girth, it's going to be 0.95, so almost an inch at its maximum girth right here, and then 1.1 on the height, so really good there as well. Now this is the green G10. You can get brown and black currently as options depending on which flavor you like the best, and the weight is going to come in at 7.7 ounces. And it does have a little bit of a skeletonized handle in there. So again, it's not like this super light Lilliputian fixed blade, but it's not like this huge overbuilt girthy thing either. And so I think meeting a really good mix of blade length, size, shape, and then giving you kind of a bigger, fuller, longer handle that you can grip in every angle, do what you need to do, giving you 3 screw point attachments, whereas a lot of tools will not. Here's a Line Steel M5 that I'm currently working with, only 2 screws, so a lot of times companies, they just do 2 screws, and so this one has 3, just to give you that extra sense of security, more likelihood of this handle scale staying in place and not shifting if you're really pounding on it. Even the lanyard hole, nice and scalloped, all of the screws recessed and scalloped. So excellent in that regard, and just super well done. Just enough of a guard there without it being like this huge, obnoxious, like tactical looking tool, and not non-existent, so you don't have one. No jimping, not needed in this style of tool, and fills out those large size hands beautifully. The angels singing from on high when you grip this tool. And using it in the woods. You're not gonna get a hot spot on that sucker. I mean, that is excellent. So now sheathing, very important, right? I mean, you can have this excellent tool, which is what this is, but if the sheath is, an afterthought, it's kind of a downer, and you're not gonna carry, you're not gonna use it. Stu knows that, and so he really invested a lot of energy in making sure that the options that were available for both Kydex and leather were excellent. And so the leather is a great green leather, USA made sheath, drop dangler, leather loop for your fire steel, really holds it in well. It's not loud and really gets the job done. Double stitch, just excellent. Holes that you could lash it to your thigh if you want to, and really done well if you want to go the leather route. Now, the Kydex route is the one that I'm just in love with. Really done well, silent on the rattle, and that's very rare for these type of sheaths. Usually there's a little bit of slap. That's not the case on this. You get your 360 belt clip that is removable if you want to take that off and do your own type of lashing. Does have a fire steel loop as well, which is somewhat rare with Kydex sheaths, so that's awesome that you have that as well, and it has a little bit of a flex to it and give, so you can get different size in there, and your favorite fire steel should be able to fit in there. And then, good thumb ramp, so you can pull off of it very easily. You can mount it in different directions, and that is an excellent option. So depending on which way you go, you're gonna get great quality, and I love that option that he decided to go with, and the style of that very thin, low profile Kydex sheath is excellent. Now let's discuss price. Now, it was awesome getting to know Stu. He did send this over to me, obviously, to use, test, review, so you guys can make a wise choice. Is this the right tool for you to invest in, to pursue after, or not? Are there other designs, you know, that are out there that just make more sense. That's what I always do in these videos so that you guys can make a wise choice, because the price is going to be an investment. It's going to be a pretty penny at about $335 over on the website. So links will be for you guys below. I know that they're also going to be through a lot of distributors as well, so I'll have those links as well so you can see everything going on and what these are running for and available at. But for $335, it's definitely on the high end of 3V steel knives in this size range. But what you'll notice is kind of a difference between, say, Toyota and Lexus, or Acura and Honda, that you're just going to see attention to detail, you know, all of those aspects to the model and to the design that you just don't always see with other tools, you know, that that the grind angles, you know, are going to be very on par, very precise, that the you know, edge geometries are going to be exact, you know, and those type of things. And Stu has really taken, you know, the time to make that happen. So you guys will have to determine for yourselves where this fits in. I know that he has other models as well coming down the line to look at, but I mean, the attention to detail, the ergonomics, the designing is excellent, is an excellent tool. And so I appreciate you guys coming over and watching this particular video. I invite you to comment. That always helps the algorithm. Leave a thumbs up. It's super easy. Check out the other video popping up. Subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber here at the channel. Throwing up content like this every single week. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.